Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. So today we have a dandy. We're looking at Psalm 92. This is a psalm for the Sabbath day. A psalm for the Sabbath day. So we're going to enjoy this because just imagine that you're going off to worship and you have a song in your heart, and you get to church or you get to synagogue and they're playing the instruments. A little band here, the 10-stringed instruments sounds like a good slide guitar to me. A psaltery, and then the harp with the solemn sound. So they're all playing and people are singing, and it's just lovely. It's just a wonderful way to exalt the name of the Lord, isn't it? Well, today we come to verses 4, 5, and 6. So let me read those for us. For thou, Lord, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of the Lord. Lord, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. Boy, it kind of needs a Selah right there, doesn't it? Let's stop and consider that. For thou, Lord, hast made me. Now, all of a sudden, we have this first person. So, in verses 1, 2, and 3, it was very generic. It was open to everyone. It's good, he says, to give thanks to the Lord. So we have this encouragement. It's good to do this. Let's do this together. Then we come to verse 4, and we realize this is the psalmist, whoever he might be. He is unknown to us. He says, For thou, Lord, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the work of thy hands. Well, what are the works of his hands? Well, name it. The creation and government of the world. That's what he's talking about. God is working out the salvation of his people. He's working in the world he made it. He's working to keep it. He sustains all things, the Bible tells us, by the word of his power. And so, how great are those works? Well, that's a pretty deep subject, isn't it, for such shallow minds? It's very great. He says that in verse 5, O Lord, how great are thy works. So the Lord's made me glad through his works. How great are his works? That's a deep subject. Thy thoughts are very deep. So all that the Lord has taught us, all the revelation that he has given us, it's very deep. And you know what? You will never exhaust a day, a moment of time, or I should say you will never exhaust the Word of God in meditating on those things, because every single thought of the Lord is very deep. And so, what is this? Why does the psalmist say this in a psalm set for the Sabbath day? Because when you go to church, what are you to meditate on? The Lord, right? And so let's start that off. We're praising the name of the Most High. We've got our instruments out. We're playing, and then let's dig down. Let's drill down to something really wonderful. The thoughts about his creative work, they're very great, and his thoughts are very deep. Let's meditate on that. And then verse 6, he says, A brutish man knows not, neither does a fool understand this. So the fool is introduced here, and it says that he doesn't understand this. Why is that? Well, you remember that in Psalm 14, it said, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So the foolish man doesn't believe there's a God to begin with. And if he's standing there in the assembly of the believers, why is he there? Because he doesn't believe that God has created all things. He doesn't believe in the government of the world. He doesn't believe that he's working out salvation for his people. He doesn't believe in any of that. He's a fool. And so, a brutish man doesn't know anything about this because he doesn't believe. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. So how can he make the connection when he doesn't believe that there's a God to there's a God and his works are very great and his thoughts are very deep and it's wonderful to sing praises unto the Lord? The fool will never think those things. Well, join me again tomorrow. We're going to look at verses 7, 8, and 9. And remember now, verse 8, that's the central piece. Everything turns on verse 8. So we're going to see verse 8 surrounded by these two verses, 7 and 9, which are just a little bit longer. So join me tomorrow here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.